We are not rare. But before you leave, you will perceive the lore will be unlocked. You might be stalked by a Sasquatch or a ghost witch, possibly even a ghost that will boast about knowing the Ohio grassman or even the Michigan dogman. Werewolves hunt, poltergeists are up front, but in these backwoods folklore is unlocked.
Welcome back to Folklore Unlocked. I'm Austin, and like always, I'm joined by Ethan.
Yep, hello again, everyone.
And this week, we are taking a look at a suspected serial killer simply known as the I-70 killer. And a bit of background on the suspect is that he's an unidentified serial killer who killed 6 store clerks in the spring of 1992. That's supposed to be 1992 if you're on YouTube, not 1972. And stores were mere miles from Interstate 70, thus the I-70 killer. And the killer stood between 5'7" and 5'9".
The victims were 6 people, so 5 of them being women. They are Robin Folder, Patricia Maggers, Patricia Smith, Nancy Kitzmiller, and Sarah Blessing. And then the one man was Michael McCown.
And Robin Fuldauer's case, the case that started all of this, happened on April 8th, 1992. And it happened when Robin was 26 years old and she was the manager of the Payless Shoe Source in Indianapolis, Indiana, where she was murdered. And she was the only employee in the store at the time when she was shot around 1:30 p.m. with her body being found around 3 p.m. in a storage room, and less than $100 was taken from the register.
Then we have Patricia Maggers and Patricia Smith, which they both happened at the same store. So on April 11th of 1992, and this was the only attack involving 2 or more victims. It occurred at the La Bride de Elegance bridal shop in Wichita, Kansas. Maggers was 32 and was the owner, and Smith, 23, was an employee. They both stayed past the normal 6 p.m. closing time for a male customer to come pick up a cummerbund and let the killer in thinking that he was the customer that was coming in. The actual customer arrived after the murders occurred, and the killer told him to go to the back, but the customer refused, and the killer told the customer to then leave.
I don't know about you, but the real customer telling the killer no to go to the back was pretty ballsy on the customer's side.
Especially since, from what we've been told, they usually had a gun on them. Yeah, pretty ballsy.
And do you know what cummerbund is?
No.
Because I've personally got no idea.
Whenever I was like reading up about this, I thought about looking it up, and I never did. But let me see. I'll look it up right now. See what a cummerbund is. A broad pleated sash worn around the waist.
Okay,
There you go.
that's not something that I typically associate. Yeah, that's very bridal shoppy. But the customer did provide a description of the slender white male with reddish hair, and he was carrying an Uzi style gun, and he did not report the incident until about an hour later. So, yes, he was ballsy to refuse to go to the back room, but it also took him an hour to report the incident, which, fair enough, he was probably scared shitless. So, I part of it means like, well, he should have reported it sooner, but also kind of see the reason why it took him to a little bit to probably catch his bearings. And if you're on YouTube, we have a sketches of what the suspect looked like.
And then we have Michael McCown, which it happened on April 27th of 1992. Michael was 40 and was working at his mother's shop, Sylvia's Ceramics in Terre Haute, Indiana, and he was killed around 4 p.m. Investigators believe that he was mistaken for a woman due to the name of the store and because he wore his hair in a ponytail and was kneeling when the murder occurred.
So yeah, Michael is the only confirmed male victim of the I-70 killer, and I say confirmed because there's some other murders that may be connected to the I-70 killer. And the next victim was 24-year-old Nancy Kitzmiller, who was an employee of Boot Village, and she was killed on May 3rd, 1992, and she was supposed to be off that day, but was covering for a coworker who needed the day off. And she opened the store at noon, and her body was found by customers around 2:30 p.m. No one heard the shot, but witnesses saw her with a potential customer minutes before her death. And I believe they did describe a white male with reddish or brown hair, so they did apparently report a similar looking.
And then we have Sarah Blessing, who was 37 years old and was the owner of the Store of Many Colors. And on May 7th of 1992, it happened during the day, and the owner of the nearby video store saw the killer enter Sarah's store and then heard a pop and went to go check on her only to find her body. And also, a nearby grocery clerk saw the man running up a hill toward I-70, and this was also the final confirmed killing.
And now we get on to the possible connected murders that aren't actually verified to be connected, but the I-70 killers believed to be connected to two other murders that happened in Texas, along with another attempted murder also in Texas in 1994 due to a similar 22 caliber firearm being used, and also possibly linked to a 2001 murder of a man in Terre Haute, just 7 blocks from where Michael was killed.
Then some connecting the cases. So all used a 22 caliber firearm. All were young, petite women with dark hair, aside from McCown. They were all in strip malls near I-70 during slow parts of the day, all shot in the back of the head, and the robbery was not the motive, even though all stores did get robbed in some way.
Yeah, and did also take Michael's wallet on top of robbing the register. So he did. Whoever this guy did do more than just kill, but it seems like the killing was the big driving force behind everything. And on to our thoughts. I think whoever this is / was, depending on if they're still alive, is a very sick and twisted individual, similar to that of the Zodiac Killer and Jack the Ripper, which we do have episodes on. So after you get done watching this episode, go watch or listen to those episodes.
Yeah, I agree. While unlikely, hopefully the killer is found at some point, and it gives closure to the families of the victims in this case. But given that it's been a little while since then, I really doubt there's going to be a break in the case.
Yeah, it's been 34 years since the last confirmed victim, and possibly 25 since the last possible connected case. It might just go down like the Zodiac Killer and just be a cold case, or it might be like the original Night Stalker case and somehow be connected by DNA in the future.
Yeah. And I think I did see also that if the killer is still alive today, he'd be somewhere between 52 and 70 or something like that. So
very likely he's still alive, but also it's known that serial killers don't just suddenly stop. They either get thrown in jail for a completely unrelated crime or murder or something, or they die. Those are basically the two things that causes serial killers to stop being serial killers. Not every time, but those are like the two main reasons why serial killers stop. Any last words, Ethan?
nope. Just thanks for watching, everyone.
Thanks for watching. Next week we'll be taking a look at an attempt to overthrow the presidency of Franklin Delano Roosevelt next week, back in the 1930s, which was known as the business plot, so stay tuned for that. Thanks for watching. If you're on YouTube, leave us a like, comment, and subscribe. And if you're on Spotify, drop us a follow and a comment, and we'll see you next week.
You might wake up beside Spearfinger with an extended visit from Jack the Ripper. But if you're lucky, it'll be an angel on that range hill of Louisiana. You might meet Mary LaValle or the Road. At Folklore Unlocked, Austin and Ethan concoct their theory of the eerie and unexplained around the world, sometimes even the underworld. The lore is locked behind secrets, the folklore is meant to be unlocked. The Sokaloo is haunting NC as well as Tennessee. There are many giants that might be clients of the Dark Watchers, who might have psychokinesis. And the phantom time hypothesis is like a phoenix, coming back around again and again. Though there's a strain on your brain if you've got more than two brain cells in you. McCartney is dead because they read into the Mandela effect, which is subject